Welcome to Up Level, Real Health, Real Talk with Dr. Jenna Blasi. I'm Dr. Jenna. I spent years crafting ways to help women thrive, and I want to help you do the same. On this podcast, we dive deep into health at every level, focusing on the mind, the body, and the spirit. This is where real conversations meet transformational wellness. We'll be talking about all the things that truly matter, from nutrition and fitness to lifestyle, mindset, and personal development. Plus, the real deal on managing stress and navigating menopause. So if you're ready to elevate your health journey with authentic, transformative insights, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hello, welcome to Up Level. This is the podcast where we explore the latest in health, wellness, and personal growth. I'm your host, Dr. Jenna Blasi, and today we're diving into the topic that is often overlooked and quite fascinating, the intricate relationship between the gut and hormones. Our gut, often referred to as the second brain, it plays a pivotal role in our overall health. Did you know that it also has a profound impact on our hormonal balance? So from influencing estrogen levels to affecting our stress hormones, the gut hormone connection is complex and intricate, and it significantly impacts our well-being. So in this episode, we are going to explore the role of the gut microbiome in hormone regulation. We are going to explore how hormonal fluctuations can affect digestive health, the bidirectional or two-way relationship between stress, sleep, and gut health, and practical strategies to support a healthy gut and balance hormones. So let's embark on this journey to understand how nurturing our gut can lead to hormonal harmony and overall vitality. I want to start with saying that many of you have gut issues, whether it's bloating, whether it's food sensitivities that have accumulated over time, and your list of what you can eat without having some type of adverse reaction or inflammation is getting smaller and smaller. If you're menopausal or perimenopausal, like many of the women that we treat in my practice, you are experiencing changes in your gut and may have newfound bloating or newfound issues with your gut. And then I treat a lot of people who are constipated, acid reflux, all types of things. Acid reflux is a little different, but all types of things that go with the gut. And so let's first talk about the gut microbiome and hormonal balance. Our gut is home to trillions of microorganisms, and these are collectively known as the gut microbiome. These microbes are not just passive inhabitants. They're not just hanging out doing nothing. They actively participate in various bodily functions, including the regulation of our hormones. It's a big buzzword today, hormone balance, right? Let's go to the gut where a lot of the disruption can begin. So microbiome diversity and estrogen metabolism. A diverse gut microbiome is associated with better health outcomes overall. I don't want to get too detailed, but as far as estrogen metabolism, there are specific gut bacteria that produce an enzyme, and the enzyme is called beta-glucuronidase, and it plays a crucial role in your estrogen metabolism because this enzyme helps convert estrogen into its active form and allows it to re-enter circulation and have its effects on the various tissues. And so an imbalance in gut bacteria, otherwise known as dysbiosis, can disrupt this process, leading to altered estrogen levels and potentially contributing to estrogen-related conditions. Now, we can have accumulation of estrogen. We can have not enough estrogen. So if we're looking at perimenopause and menopause, for example, as our estrogen is declining, if our gut is not working well to put the little bit of estrogen that we have left back into our system, then we are potentially missing out on our own estrogen, again, what's left, most of which is coming from the adrenals at this point, benefiting our system. This relationship between the gut and hormones is bidirectional. So sex hormones like estrogen and progesterone can influence the composition and diversity of the gut microbiome. For instance, fluctuations in these hormones during various life stages, such as menopause, can lead to changes in the gut microbiota, and this impacts our overall health and disease susceptibility. And the example I gave a moment ago is just one example, but a lot of women, as I said earlier, in this phase of life, menopause and perimenopause, start having bloating, start having GI upset, maybe have constipation for the first time in their life, or are worsening. Which leads me to hormonal fluctuations and digestive health. hormonal changes, particularly in women, can have a significant impact on our digestive health. The menstrual cycle and digestive symptoms are related as well. So many women experience changes in bowel habits during their menstrual cycle. For example, before their menses, increased progesterone levels slow down gut motility, which can lead to constipation. And on the flip side, during menstruation, there are prostaglandins that are released that are actually there to help the uterus contract, but they also affect the intestines, leading to diarrhea or increased bowel movements. And then the big one, which obviously is one of my areas of specialty, is menopause and the gut microbiome. So with menopause, we have a decline in our estrogen levels, and this can affect the gut microbiome's composition and diversity. And this shift can contribute to symptoms like bloating, weight gain, changes in bowel habits. Supporting gut health during this transition can alleviate some menopausal symptoms and promote overall well-being. And I have to say, I've seen some pretty funny reels on social media of women showing their gut health in menopause through gas, funny gas videos. I don't know what made me think of that, but I saw this one where this woman was jogging. She's like, here's, what I hear. And she's listening to her music and feeling all cool. And then she's like, and here's what other people hear. And it's just like the sound of her farting as she's running. And so it's real. It's real, these changes in bloating, in gas, in microbiome health that happen to us in menopause. And it's important for our cardiovascular health, for other aspects of our overall well-being. So let's tie stress into this and sleep into this, two things that are disrupted for a lot of people throughout their life, and then especially during menopause and perimenopause. The gut-brain axis. The gut and brain are in constant communication through what's known as the gut-brain axis. And this connection explains how emotional and psychological factors can influence the gut and vice versa. Think about you're giving a big presentation and you're feeling nervous, so you feel like you have butterflies, or maybe you feel sick to your quote-unquote stomach. Some people vomit. I used to get terrible stomach aches when I was in clinical rotation during my the second few years of naturopathic medical school. And the stomach ache was from stress. And it wasn't my stomach, it was my gut. And so stress and gut health are very deeply intertwined, and chronic stress can disrupt the gut microbiome, leading to dysbiosis and increased intestinal hyperpermeability, often referred to as quote unquote leaky gut. So this condition allows toxins, bacteria, things that are not supposed to get into the bloodstream to go through so that it's hyperpermeable. The lining, which is supposed to have tight junctions that nothing gets through, or only what we want gets through, open up, and toxins and bacteria enter into the bloodstream. And this can trigger inflammation, potentially affecting our hormone balance, as well as just inflammatory conditions, skin conditions, allergies, thyroid. This is why in my practice, we take our patients through transformation, and we always begin with the gut, because we've all had sleeplessness at some point in our life, or stress, or inflammation, or trauma, or poor diet, or antibiotics, or lots of medications. There are so many things that disrupt our gut health. And so most of us have some level of gut repair that needs to be done. At least that's what I found in my experience. And so to me, that's the foundation. You can build a designer house, but if your foundation is shoddy, the designer house will not hold up. And so the gut foundation is where we start with our patients, and what I talk about in my webinars, to take people through a journey of getting that gut back in balance to begin with. And when we look at the stress gut health connection, we want to manage stress through mindfulness practices, exercise, adequate sleep. These are all essential for maintaining gut and hormonal health. And our gut and hormonal health, I would add, are also essential in helping us manage stress and have the energy sometimes to exercise. If we're bloated and inflamed and don't feel well, we might not have the energy. I have done separate podcasts on these topics. I've got mindfulness podcasts. I haven't done exercise separately, but it's incorporated into some. I have one on sleep, which is the next thing we're going to talk about here. Sleep, the gut, and your hormones. Poor sleep quality can absolutely negatively impact your gut microbiome, and this leads to imbalances that affect hormone regulation. As I said earlier, we want to be restoring and having our hormones come back into balance when we're sleeping. And so a healthy gut, this goes both ways. The stress can lead to imbalances in the gut, which affects hormone regulation. And conversely, a healthy gut can promote better sleep by producing neurotransmitters like serotonin. If you've been put on an SSRI, a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor for anxiety, for depression, some women are put on them for hot flashes instead of being given the option of hormone therapy. These are affecting the circulation of serotonin in your brain. But did you know that 85 to 95% of our serotonin actually comes from the gut? This is, again, that getting to the root cause, going deeper under the hood. So instead of just taking a medication that's going to affect the brain's aspect or brain balance of serotonin, if we look to the gut and look at gut health, we're actually enhancing our own natural production of serotonin. And serotonin is important for sleep because it is a precursor to melatonin, which is the sleep hormone. So establishing a regular sleep routine and creating a restful environment can support both gut health and hormonal balance. And I have a whole podcast on sleep that if you want to go deeper into that topic. So let's talk about practical strategies for gut and hormonal health. Understanding this gut hormone connection empowers us to take proactive steps towards better health. And I want to talk about some evidence-based strategies. Now, before I talk about the evidence-based strategies, for my integrity, would be remiss if I didn't mention the importance of following your intuition and looking at your gut, right? Your gut instinct as something to cultivate. I'm a firm believer in this. And so if you're having gut issues, or let's say opportunities, because I think any challenge, any quote unquote issue or problem is an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for learning. I mentioned at one point, I don't even look at failures in my life as failures because I learned something. I've learned something from everything I've done. Even if I spent a lot of money on something and didn't even end up utilizing it, I learned something that it's always moved me towards my goal. And so nourishing our gut connection, our connection to our higher self, to that communication of our instincts. If you're having physical gut issues, I believe it's also worth looking at where are you not following your gut? Where are you not trusting yourself and always relying on the outside to tell you what to do or what to feel or what to think? So that's just my little pitch for your higher self and your intuition and your gut. Let's now talk about the evidence-based strategies. A diverse diet, consuming a variety of fruits. There are some, if you have constipation, there are some that are going to help with constipation specifically, like kiwis and prunes and cherries. And different, again, everything's individualized within what I'm discussing, but a variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and fermented foods will provide essential nutrients and promote microbial diversity. Now, let me also say, some of you have probably experimented with the low FODMAP diet, and this diet can be beneficial for patients with inflammatory bowel disease or IBD, or who also experience IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. There have been some studies that have shown that over 30% of IBD patients in remission report IBS symptoms, and that makes this diet a valid consideration, but it's important to make sure you're getting the nutrients that you need, because a lot of the studies have also shown that people fall into significant energy deficits when they adhere to this diet. And ideally, the diet is used for a period of time, and then you start reintroducing foods. I often say to the people who come to me and they say, I have all these food sensitivities and I'm okay as long as I don't eat. And then they have this scroll of foods that they won't eat. I don't feel like that's true health. I think if we address our gut, our mind, our life in a holistic way, we can repair our organs to be functioning more optimally, where we don't have to avoid all the foods. Is our food supply not as good as it used to be? Sure. Is the wheat in our country not as good as, say, the wheat from Italy or France? Yes. But ideally, we can go to the farmer's market, get sourdough bread, and not get totally blown up like a balloon. So I like to go at it where we're really addressing, again, the foundation so that we can eat a broad, diverse diet. And included in this broad, diverse diet would be prebiotics and probiotics. We want to incorporate prebiotic-rich foods as well, like garlic, onions, bananas, if you tolerate them, and consider probiotic supplements. We're going to get into supplements in a moment to support beneficial bacteria. Now, before I get into the supplements, and so probiotics, prebiotics, you can get some of that from food, fermented foods, etc. I am going to talk about some of the evidence-based supplements, but let's talk about the lifestyle pieces that, if you've noticed, come up in every topic because they're important for anything you might be dealing with. We have to manage our stress. We have to prioritize our sleep. And we ideally are doing labs and working with a practitioner who can help us understand what's going on in our body and any deficiencies we might have. But even the people that I work with who have deficiencies, some of them are eating a quote unquote healthy diet. So it's coming from the gut, not absorbing. And that brings me back to, if you're needing all of these extra things, what is maybe not being dealt with on a deeper level to help you get what you need? That being said, our soils do not have the nutrients that they used to have. And so some supplementation might be needed. But going to these pillars, managing stress, mindfulness practices, engaging in activities like meditation, yoga, deep breathing exercises to reduce stress will benefit your gut, will benefit your hormones. I promise you will benefit your life. Physical activity, regular exercise, improving mood, reducing stress, positively influences our gut health, like my Bikram yoga example, which that was specific to digestion, but it also helps stress management, not to mention it was super hot. So I was getting the benefits of sweating, sauna style, or more, what's the wet one? Steam room. Steam room is the wet one, right? I think the sauna, the Bikram yoga felt more like a steam room. Prioritizing sleep hygiene. Again, you can go deeper into this in my other sessions, but maintain a consistent sleep schedule, create a comfortable sleep environment. Studies have shown around 68 degrees Fahrenheit or less. Limit screen time before bed. Relaxation techniques. Incorporate calming activities before bedtime, such as reading, taking a warm bath. This promotes a restful sleep. And then monitoring your hormones in the way that is appropriate for you. I believe there's a lot of over testing in the quote unquote functional medicine world where we're testing all of these things. It's like, let's do these expansive food sensitivity tests, which are not that accurate. I mean, I have colleagues who've sent in, and I've seen studies on this where the food sensitivity companies, they took their own sample, labeled it as two different people, sent it into the same labs and got two completely different results, as well as taking the same sample and sending them to different labs and getting different results. So I think a lot of the benefits, honestly, of those food sensitivity tests that people do and they say they feel so much better is they go on some form of an elimination diet because of the results. I'm not a fan of spending hundreds of dollars on those tests. I would rather you put those hundreds of dollars towards, hey, get a massage, or put it towards maybe some of the supplements if you have gut issues, or towards seeing a practitioner who can help you do what's unique for you. And I know a lot of practitioners do the food sensitivity testing. I'm not a huge fan. And I think the functional medicine tests, I will do them if we're not able to really figure out how to get somebody better without them. But a lot of times, if you do the steps that I talk about, you don't need the test. And I have had people come to me with binders of all of the genetic and the functional and the stool and all of these testing, and they're not better. So really work with someone that's skilled at listening to you and working deeply on bringing balance into your life, your gut, your hormones, etc. And so this is where, regular checkups with the right provider, I like mentorship providers. That's what we do. I'm not just a doctor and diagnostician. I'm a mentor. I'm a guide. I'm a coach. In my mind, mentorship is where the real transformation happens. But these are personalized interventions. So you're consulting to look at if you need to be monitoring your thyroid or monitoring your cortisol. Absolutely. Especially during transitional periods where things are getting a little out of whack. But having a personalized intervention where you're discussing the potential treatments, lifestyle modifications to address these hormone pieces and support your gut health for what your life looks like. Okay, so let's talk about some of the supplements and then we will wrap it up. Probiotics. This is a growing field in terms of research. There is so much more that we are still learning, but probiotics, as I said, they're, those microorganisms, and they bring health benefits by enhancing and restoring our gut flora. They can aid digestion, bolster the immune system, alleviate symptoms of IBS, but it's important to choose a probiotic supplement with strains that have been researched for your specific health concern. So again, working with someone to individualize it to you. Prebiotics, there's a lot I could say about these. I'll try to keep it pretty simple and straightforward, but they can help maintain a healthy balance of your gut microbiota. They may reduce the prevalence and duration of diarrhea, which of course can be beneficial for your overall gut health. They've been associated with reduced inflammation, possibly reducing IBD, so inflammatory bowel disease, improving gut comfort, gut function. There is some evidence that prebiotics offer protection against colon cancer, but we need more research to fully understand this potential benefit. They can improve mineral absorption, especially calcium, which is important for overall gut health, can indirectly affect the gut and is important in menopause because we become susceptible to osteoporosis and osteopenia. Said that backwards. Osteopenia is the lesser and osteoporosis. And the greatest bone loss in menopause occurs actually 2 years before menopause and like 3 or 4 years after. So it's really important to be addressing everything holistically as we're going through this transition. And that was one of the myths I busted in another session, is this idea that we need to wait until women are postmenopausal to do anything, when actually it's crucial, I believe, to really support our system during this transition. There are additional potential benefits of prebiotics for gut health, and this includes improved cardiovascular risk factors, which can be linked to better overall health, including gut health. And if you're menopausal, your cardiovascular risk has gone up. They can also enhance satiety, so feeling satisfied and full after a meal, which potentially aids in weight loss, which can positively impact the gut health, reduce the risk of obesity-related gut diseases. They help with short-chain fatty acids, which help with gut health. So the last thing I'll say about these is the effects can vary depending on the type and dose of prebiotics. And this is true of probiotics as well. But for instance, psyllium husk in a recommended dose of 7 to 30 grams a day has shown symptomatic benefits in IBS and other functional bowel disorders. Now, I will add, I love psyllium if someone has high cholesterol. Usually recommend a tablespoon per day, which I believe is 10 grams. You're getting extra fiber, and it's a great addition to help lower your cholesterol naturally. But as far as the gut, so psyllium has been found to help with IBS, but other prebiotics like wheat bran, inulin, oligosaccharides have not consistently demonstrated symptomatic benefits in those conditions. So again, it's individualized to what you need and what's going to work for your body. And I will say that some of the prebiotics can be triggering for some people. Probiotics can as well. So if you get worse, if you start taking a probiotic or a prebiotic or even fiber, just back off. You can go to every other day, and it might take some time to work up your tolerance to it. I personally like digestive enzymes and bitters. Full disclosure, I don't really know what the quote unquote evidence is on these, but digestive enzymes, they can assist breaking down macronutrients, improving your nutrient absorption, reducing GI discomfort. They're particularly beneficial for individuals with enzyme deficiencies or those experiencing digestive issues. Bitters are great for that too. Great for getting the bowels moving. And in European cultures like France, they eat endives. Like even the kids, they're raised to eat bitters. It stimulates digestion, beginning with that bitter taste in the mouth, which we as Americans are very averse to. But other cultures appreciate bitters, and they have a positive effect on our digestion and breakdown of food. L-glutamine has been studied, and it's an amino acid, and it serves as fuel for the intestinal cells and supports the integrity of the gut lining. So in a lot of the gut repair, quote unquote, gut repair formulas, they'll have glutamine in it, usually in a 5,000 milligram dose. I think it's milligram, 5,000 milligrams. Yes, on the spot here. If I'm having a brain moment and it's grams, but I'm pretty sure it's milligrams. But anyway, it's 5,000. And this can even be done several times a day. And in some of the studies has been, but usually for most people, 1 time a day might suffice. So the supplementation can aid in healing the gut barrier, especially in conditions like leaky gut. Zinc carnosine has shown some promise in some gut disorders. And then some other ones just worthy of note. I want to say that I mentioned in the podcast that I did on menopause that there's not a lot of evidence around the herbs. I also said that that doesn't mean they won't work. It's just maybe not as consistent. And so I want to be clear that that doesn't mean don't try herbs for menopause, by the way, because some women will swear by the herbs that they are taking. And there's crossover, but I wanted to clarify after I got done with the podcast. I thought I should clarify because people are going to come and say, hey, I take this and this and this and it's helped, and I take maca and it's helped, and that's great. I'm just telling you that it's not consistent. I can have women a group of women and half are on X number of herbs and the other half are on different, and the same herbs, and they get different results. But other herbs that can potentially support your digestive system, back to the topic at hand, licorice root. It's been used traditionally to soothe the GI tract. It's what we call a mucilaginous herb. It's also antimicrobial, but it soothes the GI tract. So it can reduce inflammation, support the mucosal lining of the stomach, offer relief from digestive comfort. There's some link with licorice and high blood pressure. So there's a product called DGL for people that are having acid reflux that is a deglycerized licorice. So it won't adversely affect your blood pressure, but I'm telling you about this product because it soothes the mucosal tract, which is why it can be helpful for reflux. Ginger has been known for centuries for its digestive benefits, including reducing nausea, improving gastric motility. Supplementing with ginger can aid digestion and alleviate GI discomfort. I will say personally, this is totally anecdotal. My Achilles heel is my digestion. I have to stay on top of it, especially since menopause and perimenopause. And I always when I get sushi, I'm a vegetarian. So when I get my veggie sushi, I'm always eating the ginger, and it doesn't really help my digestion necessarily, but it has been used for that. And curcumin, which is the active component of turmeric, has anti-inflammatory, antioxidant properties, and it may help modulate gut inflammation and support overall digestive health. In conclusion, and I know sometimes I go off on tangents. This is not the conclusion. This is another tangent. I want to be authentic and real. I want to come from my heart when I talk to you all. And so I don't always have the exact quote in front of me or the exact details in front of me. I want it to be conversational. And so I'm trying, or my goal is to give you guys tangible information that you can do something with, as well as keep it conversational, keep it easier to absorb, no pun intended for our discussion on digestion and absorption of nutrients, to absorb the information, but I want you to have tangible steps. So in this case, your tangible step might be, again, looking at, if you have gut issues, where is an area that I covered today that's lacking for you? Is it maybe addressing the stress piece? Because that is having a huge impact on your gut and your hormones. Is it the sleep piece? Is it the diet piece? Is it finding the right mentor, finding the right guide to put these together for you? So this is not to overwhelm you. Focus and choose something that resonates with you. Pull out a piece of information that you go, that is something that I want to work with. This is what I do in my mindset programs and with my mindset coaches. It's like, let's focus on this area. I'm going to focus on my attitude for the next 30 days and make it better. I'm going to focus on my standards for the next 30 days and make them better. So you're going to focus on your sleep for the next 30 days. Maybe you're going to focus on your stress management. So pick one of these. And then if there's a supplement that jumps out at you that resonates, you're like, you know what? I think I want to try that. Great. But it's good to have a provider. Again, so you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. So I'm telling you about the supplements, but I'm not necessarily recommending that you go out and just take a whole bunch of supplements, because the intricate connection between gut health and hormones is intricate, right? It's in what I'm saying, it's intricate. And so I think it underscores the importance of a holistic approach to wellness. So incorporating these supplements might be fine, but it's alongside, not in replacement of, alongside a balanced diet, rich in fiber, rich in fermented foods, alongside regular physical activity, stress management techniques. All of these together can contribute to a healthier gut and improved overall well-being. So remember, while supplements can provide support, they should complement, not replace, a healthy lifestyle and dietary habits. So that's it. By understanding and utilizing these evidence-based supplements, these ideas we've talked about today, ideally the lifestyle more than the supplements, you can take proactive steps towards enhancing your gut health and consequently your overall health. And so this is to you thriving. There are way too many of us that are just getting by. And so thank you so much for joining me today. So grateful to have you all here, and connect with me on social media. Let me know what was most impactful for you, what your takeaways were, and if there's any topics you'd like to make sure that I cover. I look forward to seeing you next time. And if you loved this, please leave us a rating, leave us a review, share it with your friends, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and we'll see you next time. Dr. Jenna with UpLevel Holistic Health. Thanks so much. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this episode of UpLevel, Real Health, Real Talk. I hope today's conversation inspired you to take the next step in your health journey, one that nourishes not just your body, but your mind and spirit as well. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you found value in today's episode, please leave a review. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep thriving. And remember, true wellness is a journey, and you are on the right path.